What's up guys, it's Thunderbird Games here, my name is Jack and today we have a first impressions video on the game Borderlands the pre-sequel. So what is this game? Borderlands pre-sequel is the prequel to Borderlands 2 and it takes place between Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. So I guess we'll start with characters. So like all the Borderlands games, we have 4 characters, and in this game they are different to the characters from the last game. In this game we have Athena, Niche, Wilhelm and Claptrap, and you probably recognise their names because all of them appeared either in Borderlands 1 or Borderlands 2. Athena was from the Narc DLC, she was one of the assassins I think. Niche was the sheriff of the bandit town in Borderlands 2, I forget the name. Wilhelm was the first major boss in Borderlands 2, and Claptrap is probably the most infamous character from the Borderlands series. And it's actually quite funny when you go on when you go choose your character, if you choose Claptrap, it comes up like, are you sure you want to play as Claptrap? And it's like, no, do you know who this guy is? And so it's keeping the Borderlands humour, but also what's different from the characters from Borderlands 1 and 2 is, unlike in Borderlands 1 and 2, the characters were silent. They only ever spoke in like trailers and when you like get like a headshot or something. In this game they actually talk, like they talk to the other NPCs in the game, and like also you are telling the story to the Vault Hunters from Borderlands 2. Like they are questioning you at the beginning, like, oh, why have you gone to work for Handsome Jack? And Handsome Jack is also primarily the main character, the main NPC in the game. He is the reason you like he's basically Borderlands pre-sequel is about Handsome Jack's like rise to power. You get called to go help him find the vault on the moon, and he's in charge of the station, the big H satellite you probably remember from Borderlands 2 that always used to shoot robots down at you. So yeah, he's the main character, and he's not evil like he was in Borderlands 2, and he's not up the chain of command in Hyperion. Like he is, like you'll see in the video, like someone he's actually like being questioned, like, oh, why is the space station under attack and stuff, and he's like, oh, nothing sir, and he's like, here and us. So he's like, what did you say? And he goes, oh, nothing. So that's pretty cool. Now Handsome Jack isn't the only NPC you come across in the game. So far I've played the game for like 2 hours. I've come across another NPC, and I've already forgot the name of her, but it's this Australian character, this Australian girl. Basically, as soon as you land on the moon, she's like, well, your eyes are going to explode and your lungs are going to explode because there's no oxygen on the moon. And she's like, it's going to hurt a lot, and then you have to run to her house, and she'll help you out from there. And she's the only character I've come across so far. She's not as good as the characters from like Borderlands 1 or Borderlands 2. Like if you remember, like Sir Hammerlock was the first one you came across. But you know, she's right, and everyone is Australian on the moon. Like 80% of all the characters are Australian, and that's mainly because the game was developed by 2K Australia. So the next thing I want to talk about is the like gameplay itself, and like the way you start. Like if you remember, I personally think Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2 are quite boring introductions. I don't mean like the video. I think the video is always cool at the beginning, but the actual like first couple like gameplay moments, they're pretty slow starting off. Like in Borderlands 2 you were in the like Arctic, and then you have to go kill that big bully mong, and then you'd go into that town that was under attack by the bandits, and you'd have to kill the bandits and save Hammerlock. And that was pretty much the same thing with Borderlands 1, where you're in a Firestone, town's under attack, you gotta save the town and you gotta talk to all the characters and stuff. But Borderlands pre-sequel is different. You get on the spaceship, you go to the station, but it's under attack by the Lost Legion. These are that's like the main enemy faction. They're like, instead of Hyperion or Atlas, you have these Lost Legion commandos. And so yeah, it's not like a boring start, go save the town. It's this like thing is getting sieged, fight your way through it, and that's like different kind of pace. It kind of throws you into the action like straight away. Like you already have your guns and stuff, and if you make, you know, at the start of Borderlands 1 and 2 you have to go like find your guns, but you already have like all your gear and shit. And then you go forward, you save Handsome Jack, and there's actually pretty good like intro, and then you have your and it keeps the pace up. Like you have your first boss fight shortly after, which is good. So it gets straight into like the fun, unlike Borderlands 2, where it didn't really start getting fun till after you like save the town and then you go fight the pirate. That was Borderlands 2 anyway. Okay, so the next thing we need to talk about is the enemies. Like I said, you get thrown into the action straight away, and the first people you come across are these like Lost Legion. They even saying at the beginning like, oh, things would have been different if they hadn't turned up, but they're basically they are the enemy faction of the game. They're the enemy humans, and they're quite plentiful in the first mission. They're pretty basic, like your soldiers. You wouldn't normally come across them in the other games, like your actual like enemy soldiers, like organized soldiers, until later in the game. But in this, it throws, like I said, it throws you straight into it. They're pretty like basic. You don't really learn much about them, and that's, I don't know, I guess that's a negative, because in other games it would build up to you fighting these like super soldiers. I wouldn't call them super soldiers, but these like elite fighting force. But instead it just throws me straight away, and you're like, oh, meh. But I guess it would have expected you to play the other games first, and then you get onto the moon, and then you have, well, on Pandora you had the like skags, they're like little dogs, and I think you had the weird like bipedal spiders that like rolled around. I can't remember what they're called. It's been a while. But you have these new like dragon. They're kind of like Komodo dragons, and they live on the moon, and they're in loads of different colours, and they shoot fire at you. And they're the most common enemy I've come across. I haven't actually found any other monster yet, but I'm sure I will as you progress through the game. This is Borderlands game, so there are going to be loads of creepy or strange monsters. And then you have the bandits of the moon, and so far the ones I've fought are different to the like ones you'd find on Pandora. Like, you know, on Pandora you have the psycho who screams like, strip the flesh, stop the wound. But in this, they seem to be like pretty basic. They're not that interesting, and they're just feels like they're really bog standard enemies. Bandits, they're not really interesting. They still like say funny things in their Australian accents, but at the moment they're not as interesting to fight as the ones on Pandora. Like, if you remember Pandora, you had the like massive psycho with the one, he had like one massive like armor, one really small armor, like the midgets. Like, so far I haven't come across any of that. I've just come across like bog standard bandits. I think they're called scavs, because they're like scavenging on the moon and shit, and they're pretty like basic. But then you do have like the cool like boss fights and stuff, and they're, because the boss is like trying to talk to you, like they take the piss out of you when or they might take jabs at you and stuff. And like, what's quite interesting is the boss actually speaks to you when you enter his territory. He'll be like, oh, I've got no, he's like, I can't be bothered to fight you. But then the like leader of the Lost Legion will be like, oh, they said your jump pads suck, and he's like, no one says my jump pads suck. And that's kind of, they kind of keep you like interested, keep you like happy, these like little subtle moments like that. And then you get to the boss fight, and Borderlands is known for its like unique boss fights. No boss fight is ever the same. They're always different. They start off like simple, but then they get a bit more fun. Like, you remember in Borderlands 2, you start off with your like little big badass monster, then you work your way up to a pirate, and then eventually you'll be fighting like a giant like drone, or giant like giant plant that came out of the ground and stuff. And I'm looking forward to like fighting more bosses, and they're not like stupid hard, but they are aggressive. They will keep like coming for you. The one I actually showed in the video was pretty easy to take down, but if he did hit me, I nearly died like on most occasions. So because the pre-sequel is not set on Pandora, it's set on the moon, which means obviously if there's no oxygen on moons as far as human discovery goes, but there's no oxygen on this moon, so you have this like little O2 bar, and this is like another addition to your health and shield. And so when you're running around on the moon, you have your little O2 helmet, and this is quite cool. Like, he'll form around your helmet. It's not like a helmet, it's like a bubble shield and such, and that like forms around your helmet and forms around your head, so you can breathe. But it will only like last, like the one I got like lasts like 130 seconds. But you can get more. It's pretty much the same as shields. Like, you can upgrade them. Each one does like little bonuses. Like, it might give you like extra like the one I got at the moment means every time I pick up like an oxygen bottle, it will also heal my health. But like, oxygen, like, it's never a problem like running out. There's all these like geysers coming out of the ground. They will give you oxygen, and so it's never like a worry if you're gonna run out and stuff, which is kind of like I mean, it's good because it would have been frustrating, like, if having to worry about running out of oxygen. But it's not that type of like survival game. It's like a shooting, like gun. It's a game about guns, pretty much. So like running out of oxygen is like it's a good thing. That it doesn't like you have like an endless supply. Like, even though you're on the moon, it's like endless supply of oxygen. Like, you can literally just like walk over here, and it will like heal you, and it will like give you oxygen. But it's good. It is good, even though it's stupid. It's good that you have like almost unlimited supply. But it's like, it's not, you can't just breathe it, but you can do like double jumps and stuff to get like over large gaps. You can always jump quite high on the moon, because you're on the moon. There's like no gravity. Well, there's gravity, there's not that much, but you can do like double jumps to get you up ledges and things. It's kind of awkward and a bit clunky. Like, it doesn't always work the way you want it to. And they could like, they need some like, I don't know, they can't really improve on it now. The game's already been released, but like, it's a bit clunky. Like, in future, if they're gonna do something like that, they need to make it more like, you don't have much control. Like, at least when I tried to do it anyway. Like, I'm playing on the PC, so I'm more used to playing with a console controller. So this is kind of awkward for me, but that might just be me. But like, yeah, because you're on the moon, the world is like, I don't know, it's pretty. Like, if you remember Pandora, you had like all your variety of locations. Like, you had like it's kind of like Pandora. Like, you had your highlands, you had like your desert, you had your like your Arctic, and you just have like your grasslands and your like caves and everything. And then Borderlands pre-sequel, so far it's only really just been like moon, lava, moon, and that's just like, it's not as interesting. Like, there's nothing like when you're going around the world, there's nothing like from A, it's just going A to B, there's nothing between to like keep you occupied. Like, there's a few buildings every now and again. I only just got the car, and I just stopped playing last night when I got the car. I'm gonna keep playing it today, but like, I'm hoping I'm gonna get to like a big settlement or something, and there's gonna be more to it, because the world just isn't as interesting. It is like a cool, you can do like a cool skybox, so like you can look up and you can see the Hyperion satellite, and it's like being attacked, and there's like shooting stars everywhere, and you can actually see you can see Pandora, and you can see the sun, which is, I'd say you can see the sun, because in Borderlands 1 and 2 you couldn't see the sun, but it was always like really bright and sunny, but you could never see the sun. And so that's kind of interesting. Like, well, it's there now. But the other cool thing, when you look out to Pandora, you can see the vault from the first game, and it's like spraying shit all over space. So that's like, I think that's like quite cool attention to detail. Like, I don't get why it's spraying stuff everywhere. Maybe that's just like I think I'm just assuming it's the vault, but it could be someone else. But the rest of the world isn't as interesting as Pandora, but it's pretty good. Like, it's different. It's just really like the exterior areas where you have to run around with your oxygen bubble. They're just like not interesting. But the bits like inside are like, they're just as interesting as they were in Borderlands 1 or 2, we'll say. So Borderlands is well known for its large amount of quests, and the quests are pretty, like, I've only done a couple side quests. You do get like your boring ones, but the things that keeps you going is there's like slapstick humor. Like, the one quest I had to do, we had to take this parcel to this guy, and you give him the parcel, and he's like, what's in this parcel? Is it a knife? Is it a kitten? Is it a kitten holding a knife? It's like, you will tell me everything, you small kitten. You will tell me the secrets to the universe. And they're Australians, so it makes it sound more funny. But then I was like, okay, I gave him this box, and I went to walk away, and the girl goes, okay, now you gotta kill him. I was like, what? So you just shoot this, like, he basically signs all these posters for you, because that's what's in the box. And you shoot him, and all these like posters go everywhere, and then you have to like, these posters have like pictures of you on them, and then you go pick them up everywhere. And you're like picking them up, and your character is like commenting on them, and then you pick the last poster down, and it's like a cat, and he goes like, yeah, we've run out of pictures, so just pick a cat instead. People like cats. And just these like little bits of humour that keep you going. Like I said before, the boss, like, takes jabs at you because you say apparently you say you don't like his like jump pads and stuff, and like just little things that it's really childish, but like it's funny because like you come to like the space age and you have this bandit just like full of it, like you just have this world just full of idiots, and that's like it's good humor. Like it keeps you playing the game, and like I do have my chuckles every now and again. Like I remember in Borderlands 2 where it was, like Claptrap was like, we're like two peas in the pod, two like double D double do or something, and it's like two cannibal bandits inside a fat guy's rib cage, and I was like, lol. So like just like little things like that. And the last thing I wanna talk about is the new laser guns. These laser guns are the shit. They're like so like cool. Like your first one after you kill the first boss, and it's like, you know, it's not like not that good, but like it's different from the like standard, like, oh, you know, you're shot in your rifle, your sniper rifle. And another thing actually I should mention, the sniper rifle is still always overpowered. Like you can just sit back, snipe all the enemies, go forward, and not even have to put much of a fight. But you get these new laser guns, and they do piss through your ammo supply because they use your assault rifle rounds. But it does use your assault rifle rounds, which is weird. But I got the one where you shoot the, like, once you run out of ammo you like chuck it, but if you press reload too early it will throw every single bullet away you have in your laser, which is always a bad idea with a laser because they carry like 400 rounds. And I sorry, like chuck for like 400 rounds, but it does explode and kill the enemy like instantly. But they are like really cool. Like I was showing like how they work and stuff. They like it's just fun to use, and that's like, and it's another thing like Borderlands that's great. They do like their cool weapon classes. They keep it up. They still got all the new like weapon like manufacturers like Maliwan, Jacobs. Like they're all different. Like Maliwan is elemental. Like Jacobs is like they come with like the cowboy like wooden finish, like single shot, bolt action weapons like revolvers and stuff. You have like a Hyperion, which are like your like military, so like space age engineer weapons and stuff. You have other ones. What are the other ones? Torg, which is a explosive, and they're like really fun on the moon because if you kill someone with that, they go like flying off somewhere. And what else? There's Teddy Core. Those ones where I was saying like you can throw a gun at people and stuff. I don't know if who made Atlas guns back in the game, but there's also a new manufacturer called Scav, which is also the name of the enemies, like the bandits you fight. They're just like homemade weapons. They're kind of the replacement for bandit class guns, if you remember them. They're like makeshift, put together, and they shoot like explosives. And they're pretty interesting, but I don't know. It's the new lasers which will probably like get people like most excited in using the guns and the elements and stuff. That's always like what Borderlands has done well. But anyway guys, I would like to thank you for watching my first impressions. I'm thinking about doing a review afterwards as well, because I like to start this gaming channel, like to get it like going properly. But yeah, thanks for watching guys. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a dislike and tell me why. If it was my awful commentary, which I don't think I'm very good at, because I literally written like an agenda and I was just really like trying to look at that and then think of what to say. But yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed, dislike, leave a comment, tell me why it was shit. And if you want to see more videos, press the subscribe button. And let's get into this. So I will be producing more content. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like I said, leave a like, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.